Man, you want to start up there on page 90, the in order to be able?
Okay, here we go. The hidden work, chapter 9. In order to be able to really use these ideas in a practical way, it is first necessary to understand that everything is material, even thought. In ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one forms? I'm going to try that again. An ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with his... An ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one forms the origination for his denying force?
Yes.
Just pretend there's a comma after the word one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Yeah, you have to pause after the word one, and then like forms is the verb.
Okay.
Yeah.
In ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one forms the origination for his denying force? His astral body should be his active part, but he allows his biological machine to continue to act as the active part of himself. Pass.
Okay, that's a good one, and I'm hoping that we can try it one more time. The reason being, for me, this paragraph is the central theme for everything else that comes in the book. So we have to get it in whatever way we can. So yes. I'm going to read it the way I understand it, and I'm going to let everybody have a chance with reading it the way they understand it, okay?
Please.
We're not going to settle for one.
Please.
All right.
Page is it on?
Page 90.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with the first one. In order to be able to really use these ideas in a practical way, it is first necessary to understand that everything is material, even thought. In ordinary man, what would be his astral body, if he had been born with one, forms the origination for his denying force. His astral body should be his active part, but he allows his biological machine to continue to act as the active part of himself. Pass to Bernie. Give us the same paragraph, please, Bernie, in your own way, however you choose.
Okay. In order to be able to really use this in a practical way, it is first necessary to understand that everything is material, even thought. In ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one, forms the origin for his denying force. His astral body should be his active part, but he allows his biological machine to continue to be the active part of himself. I pass.
Thank you. Beverly, do you wish to read?
Yes, thank you.
The same paragraph again, please.
Okay. In order to be able to really use these ideas in a practical way, it is first necessary to understand that everything is material, even thought. In ordinary man, what would be his astral body, if he had been born with one, forms the origination for his denying force. His astral body should be his active part, but he allows his biological machine to continue to act as the active part of himself.
Thank you.
Okay. Should I?
Wilson's not reading today, so it moves to Jayesh.
Okay, same paragraph.
Yes, please.
All right. In order to be able to really use these ideas in a practical way, it is first necessary to understand that everything is material, even thought. In ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one forms the origination for his denying force? His astral body should be his active part, but he allows his biological machine to continue to act as the active part of himself.
What do you think? Do we need this again, or shall we try going on?
Well, could you talk a little bit about the astral body?
No. I'm the least capable one to speak to the astral body. Sorry.
Okay.
Wilson, do you want to speak to the astral body?
Go
No,
ahead,
Wilson can do it.
No, I think I'll pass. I know you have to take an astral plane to get there.
Oh, fun. Oh, fun. If you look at the index, the page where the phrase astral body is on page 78, which is in the forward, page 90, which is where we are, and page 134.
What's the first page? 74?
78. It's in the index.
Oh,
You look in the
okay.
index and under the word astral body, and you'll see the location of that collection of words, astral body.
Okay, thank you.
And
Did you say Hans?
Sorry?
No, I think Pat has been.
Yes, he is frozen.
Frozen.
Pat is freezed, I believe.
Patricia, are you there?
Now she's gone altogether.
Yeah.
She's in the astral plane.
Perhaps. So, as he was talking about 78, second paragraph, the passive force, even in the form of negative emotion or non-activity, can be used as food for any new level of evolution. However, in the ordinary state of human being, the astral body continues as a passive source of negative force, and all the special alchemical substances produced by the organic, biological, chemical factory are pushed downward and go to feed the unconscious parasite within the machine. That's something which in schools in ancient times was called the moon. So yeah, that's again good reference for the astral body.
yes.
So So there are three forces which like active, passive, and one is reconcile, reconcile,
Reconciling.
reconciling, right? So
Yeah.
so in the second last line, his astral body should be his active part, but right, it is as per that paragraph, it's a passive in
Exactly.
ordinary human, and
Yes.
he allows his biological machine to continue to act as the active part of himself.
Yes.
So that's
in the seven,
sorry, go ahead.
well, I was just thinking in the seven bodies of man, isn't it the astral body and then the etheric body and then the causal body? And each body has finer and finer etheric substances. So we might do some research in the seven bodies of man to get more information.
Yeah.
I just remember that
Yeah.
it was a dream that brought me to the school, in that I was having a kind of a loose.
Okay, your sound went off. Okay, your sound went off. Are you
Something,
still
well,
there?
I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
And then I got the invitation, then I got the notification about the Prayer Absolute workshop, which was the first one I came to. And the person who was registering me turned out to be the same person who had been in my dream. So I know that a lot of teaching work that EJ does occurs in that dream astral plane. So sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to share that.
Well, that was fun. I don't know for other people, but for me, the important thing that you said was all soundless on my end. I didn't get to hear any of it.
Oh, well, sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's my machine. We got some technical difficulties here. I just want to remind folks that the page 78 reference also had a second paragraph. And for me, it's the one that is most helpful for defining what this process is that we're saying. If one is able to send higher substances upward toward the astral body by the voluntary activation of centrums and parts of centrums through the technique of bringing them to life, by bringing the whole machine to life, then later it will be possible to eventually direct prayer absolute, which is an even higher cosmic substance, upward into the higher spheres. So it's like there's phases to this, you know. Okay, who hasn't had a chance to read? Everybody read?
Did Beverly read?
Yes.
Thank you. I did read. Thanks.
Good. Mhm. Did you want to say something, Beverly?
Do you want me to read again?
Sure, that would be wonderful.
Oh, okay. All right. So now I've been turning pages. So now I'm asking you to tell me what page we're on now.
90.
Okay. And where should I begin?
In the effort.
Okay. In the effort to awaken the machine and put it to use in the transformational process and the work, we must strive to be passive in the exterior and active active in the interior. Eventually, if we master this idea, our outer world becomes passive, pushing the denying force upward, thus providing the necessary force to send finer substances upward in much the same way as a carrier wave carries a coherent radio signal through space. Okay, should I choose somebody or go on?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead and read.
Go ahead and choose someone would be great.
Okay, Bernie.
Okay, thank you, Beth.
Uh-huh.
If we can produce some form of connecting force between the biological and astral bodies, they can in turn provide a single denying force for the formation of the causal body. But for connection of these lower bodies that form from the lower centrums, which provide their centrums of gravity in much the same way as a grain of sand forms the centrum of a pearl, is preserved in initiatism in the following way. Make the inner as the outer, and the outer as the inner. Then make the two one. Tag Bardoman.
But before we read again, I just want us to go back and look at the previous two paragraphs that Bernie just read, because it is a very defining statement of what is necessary to do in order to proceed with what we're talking about here, activating the astral body, which is the name of this chapter. And there's all these phases, but these particular two paragraphs to me are, well, they're a little bit clearer. The language is a little clearer for me. And they also hold a tiny bit of, I recognize the description of what they're talking about. So what were you going to say, Hans?
Oh, I was going to say, are you referring to if we can produce and the method for connection?
Yeah. Yeah. So a connecting force, that's a description of what has been being spoken about and comes up in other places. So that's the first thing, is you have to have the connecting force, and then you can have the denying force in order to make the causal body. And then the connection is formed in this manner, which I've heard the language before, but I've never seen it happen, and I don't really know how it works. But the way you get a pearl is to have something that is an irritation. Is that correct? It has to be an irritation for it to make itself. So then it ends up with this following sentence: make the inner as the outer and the outer as the inner. And oh my goodness, I've heard that one for 50 years. I still don't know what it is. And practical.
Well, it keeps reminding me of, I don't really know if this applies, but what came up for me was in relationship that the wish, the want is for everything to be perfect in the relationship. And when something comes up that's an irritant, we deny it as being beautiful or welcome. Or does this have anything to do with what we're talking about? You know, we deny the irritant as being, not something to look at, to include. to be able to move higher.
Mhm.
So the irritant becomes not essential or denied when I think it needs to be included and considered and looked at as being part of what makes the movement richer, more alive, more awake.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right on it there, Beverly, because if you look at that second paragraph we read today, an ordinary man, what would be his astral body if he had been born with one, forms the origination for his denying force. That links it back to that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there's
Now, do you think that grain of sand or that irritant that Beverly was just speaking of, you think there's any relation to how I know I've heard EJ talk about it, and I know I've heard Chogyam Trungpa talk about it, where they'll keep a member of the community around that everyone hates. Everyone is like, what is he doing here? He's upsetting the apple crate.
I would not have a way to speak to that because I don't know about that as a principle for a community or not. But in one way, what you're saying is that you don't exclude things which might be irritating. You don't shut them out. You don't keep them away.
Right.
You allow them, maybe even encourage them or something like that. I don't know. But
I guess unless they're so disruptive that the school and the learning and the teaching can't properly move on, right?
well, I'd be guessing. I mean, I'm not in a position to classify whether something has been deliberately changed or not,
Well, that the irritant, I think for me, I have to recognize that the irritant is valuable for moving. It's just something that's included. So, and there it is in my life.
Mhm.
How did it get here? It's meant to be looked at. I mean, I must have created it, or something brought it in my life. So to look at it and to include it would move me on to the next one. I mean, I whatever
Yeah.
it may be. I mean, to be able to include that and really look at it as some sort of enrichment in some that's part of the beauty.
Well, I think we're going to get some of that in the next couple of paragraphs. So I don't remember who was reading.
Okay, I just want to
I
interject
I'll
here
go,
for a
man.
second. I don't want to be a distraction, and maybe right, I already am. What comes to mind here, and maybe this doesn't even fit in, is I think most of us can remember when EJ's talked about cutting the flaw out of the rock or the gem when one is trying to create a diamond, a pure diamond.
Uh-huh.
So that's what comes to mind when I said if the irritant or the grain of sand is too big and too irritating and too distracting to the rest of the group when they're trying to achieve a certain goal or understanding, that
Yes.
it has to be eliminated. And I've heard that referred to about people that have to be asked to leave the community.
Hmm.
So I don't know, maybe that doesn't apply here at all whatsoever, but just
Yeah. It's good to consider, yes. So you're reading next? Yeah.
me.
Hans, yes.
I think it's
I
Bernie,
tagged
right?
you. I tagged you.
Who?
I tagged you, Bartleman. So
Okay.
it's your turn.
Yeah, Bartleman.
Are we on the method for connection?
Because the results over
Top of page 91.
I got it.
Yeah.
Top of page 91, activating the astral body. Because the results of organic foods do not ordinarily pass beyond the first octave, one also feeds the moon as one feeds the biological machine. To reverse this reciprocal process of feeding, one must feed the inner world with direct results of results coming to the machine from the outer world.
Keep going. Don't leave us hanging.
You want me to read that again?
No, I want you to go on to the next paragraph.
All right. But how is this possible?
Right.
When some mysterious creature existing parasitically within the machine, inaccessible even to one's vision, continually sucks the blood by isolating the two consciousnesses. That is, the consciousness of the machine in sleep and the consciousness of the being, which is neither asleep nor awake, and which is the source of attention in all its forms, even that attention which attaches itself to the machine and follows its sleep through the process called identification. That was more than I wanted to chew on, Patricia.
Me too.
Anytime I see one of EJ's paragraphs start with because, I know that there's going to be more that's going to feed it. So the because paragraph was just a teaser. And this paragraph is like, oops, could we just skip all of that? What does that mean? Oh my gosh. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Work at deciphering some of paragraph 1 and 2 on page 91. Open.
That the mysterious creature existing parasitically.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All of a sudden, a parasite within the machine, this mysterious creature, not accessible even by my own vision of understanding it, in my limited vision. That parasite is sucking the blood. How am I doing so far?
Good.
All right. That parasite, and it continually sucks the blood by putting it, isolating it, putting it in one place. The place is, oh, wait a minute. Isolating the two consciousnesses. Okay, the consciousness of the machine in sleep, that's one of the two. and the other consciousness, the other of the two, of the being. Okay, isolating those two. Wait a minute. Okay, and I don't want to forget about this parasite that's sucking the blood out of each one of those. The parasite that's in the machine. So the parasite is sucking the blood out of the machine that's in sleep, the consciousness of the machine that's in sleep, and the other one, the consciousness sucking the blood out of the consciousness of the being. How's that so far? Is that what's going on there? Okay. So that one, wait, neither sleep, no, wait. So neither one of those consciousness, the one that's asleep and the one that's awake, even if you put that attention on both of those forms, even that attention, which attaches itself to the machine, wait a minute, even the source of attention in all its forms, all the kinds of attention, even that attention looks like it's not going to help anyway. Anyway, even that attention, which attaches itself to the machine and follows its sleep through, even that attention is called identifying with it, identifying with the parasite, identifying with the inability to because it says the attention attaches itself to the machine, which is not in this paragraph, this mysterious creature that's a parasite within the machine, even that attention to both of those consciousnesses, even the attention.
Okay, there's a way to maybe make a couple of things a little bit more clear. If you think about what we call the machine attention, and then we talk about how we are distracted from being able to be simply present. And there's a degree of attention and there's a degree of consciousness in both cases. And what this is saying is that there is some ongoing form that constantly draws away from both of those situations. The one when we're, out of it, and the one where we're conscious of the being. Both of those situations are vulnerable to this creature, which exists as part of the machine.
Kind of like where the magician distracts you, right? It says, look over here.
Look over here. Yes.
While I do this movement.
But
It's not a quick take, this chapter at all. So yeah, go ahead, Bernie.
But in this kind of literature, as in my case, I leave a space
Yes.
to the possibility of not necessarily making sense as we usually try to understand and throw into the basket. Because this in this lineage, we worked that last with the group of practical work of self. In this lineage, they are so elaborate that sometimes it is on purpose this difficulty to understand, because I think I leave the possibility. I'm not saying this case, but the possibility of being in a sense in a feeling of wonderment and be able to stand with it. You know, I don't quite to say to ourselves. I don't quite understand, but I will sometimes, or maybe it's not. It's not a exposition to be understood.
Yeah.
With this, I mean, we tend to think in the rational way, linear, you know, this
Yes.
and that, that's good. And this kind of literatures, it could be that is exposes us to irrational, not crazy, you know, but irrational way of understanding.
Yeah.
I leave that space,
Yes.
that possibility.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And,
Because if I am able to be rude and ironic, this I could say that this is a basic Chinese to me.
oh, we'll forgive you if you're being rude and ironic. It's totally fine.
Well, thank you, Bernie, because it makes me feel a little peaceful that there's this other called, you used the word wonderment, which is so lovely to me, so beautiful, to be able to accept that, that exists. And I don't have to understand it right this second. There's more, in fact, wonder coming up.
That's a very nice way of putting it. I'm going to ask and Jay, please, to read the next paragraph, because I want everybody to have a chance to speak this today, and then we'll take a look at this whole bit that we've read in a minute. Go for it.
So is this the one with starts with only through, right?
Yes, only through struggle. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Only through struggle with ourselves can we become able to arouse in ourselves the will to awaken the machine and apply the force and activities of the machine toward the transformational process and also toward the work. But nothing can be accomplished through ordinary struggle with the organic world.
And one more, please.
For the biological machine to become passive does not mean that it must cease all moving centrum activity as in seated meditation. To make the moving centrum passive, one must lose the fixation, by which I mean the result of seduction with the visions, which include mental, emotional, and physical ideas, feelings, and sensations of the phenomenal world, without losing interest in the visions of the phenomenal world.
That's strong. That's wrong. Strong. I mean, not wrong. I strong. It's very strong.
Yeah, even with the struggle of trying to grasp the previous, well, for me, the whole chapter is this way, but I mean, especially these last 2 pages, that as a resolution gives me a sense of, oh, there is something, a manner in which I can operate, which would allow me to be moving in the direction that I wish in terms of this, specifically activating the astral body.
I like the last line. Without losing interest in the visions of the phenomenal world.
I tend to write notes in the book. So it's my book.
Loops?
My book. And I wrote the word detachment.
Yes.
I think it's in Spanish is desapego.
Mm.
Desidentification, detachment.
Mm-hmm.
It's paradoxical because the last sentence, without in the vision of the phenomenal world. So it's a balance, a very subtle balance, no? Because if not, we are in the line of the monk that detach the world and goes to the mountain and whatever, no? But I think this line that we are somehow brought to is be in the world and not in the world, no? Be part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Very subtle.
In
Yes.
the world, but not of it.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
that's the word. Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, but we have to be somewhere, right?
Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. That sounded
So-
like the start of something. Keep going. We do have.
Yeah, so I mean, we say non-identification, but at the moment we have to be clinging on to something. So either we are clinging to the mind or we are clinging to the non-phenomenal. So
No,
what is the way to cling to non-phenomenal?
Mm-hmm.
clinging to my heart if I'm going to be attached to something.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 4 lines is a aspect, total aspects of what we are talking about. Neither reacted nor repelled, not making a sad moves. No?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a purpose that it's a task that we have to face. The 4 lines, I mean.
Yeah. No, they said that, as Patricia said, that be in the world but not of it, right? That is it.
Yes.
But then what should we be off of then?
Well, one of the aspects of this particular chapter for me is I'm going to read from the very first paragraph of it, activating the astral body. It says, if the organic machine and its moving centrum manifestations can be made passive. So this is a description in my mind of some of that process. Higher substances can be driven upward by the resulting negative force, and the astral body can be automatically activated. So that's the premise of this process. And when I read this chapter and I go through each of these paragraphs, I go, well, I don't think I get that. Well, I don't know if I have any experience with that, but I do have some experience with the process of what we would call, I suppose, turning our negative emotion into an activated state. That's a process, and it has an effect. First of all, it gives you a tiny bit of distance from your identification, but also there is a force. There is a substance, there is a force, there is a something, an energy, whatever word you want to use, from that process that is available because you denied the other. Does that make sense? I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's like Mario, right? Mario is,
Yes.
you know, he punches on that.
Yeah. Yeah, like Mario. Good one. I can keep that one in my brain. That's a wonderful scene.
Right?
Yeah.
Like from Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
The video game. The
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the only ones I know anything about, but yeah. Good one. The other part of this, for me, when we read a book together, is that there is no judgment about whether we understand it or we get it or, you know, we've read it or any of that kind of stuff. It's a reading. The reading space itself is what we're offering in this chamber. So our comprehension or our usage or whatever that we choose to share, that's all voluntary. There's no requirement here. So sometimes I think I'm a little bit pushy on this. You just have to knock me back a pace and say, you know, just shut up and listen. So
No, thanks for saying that, Patricia, because reading after reading after reading, session after session, I'm always thinking everyone here understands everything absolutely, but I don't understand anything.
Join,
Well, guess
join the
what?
club, right?
Join the club. Thank you, Nishant.
I don't think you're saying that seriously. Of course, you don't mean it.
You're right, Bernie. I get it all perfectly.
No. But to say to Nishant, how do we be in the world, not of it?
yeah.
But I do know that we should not take that as a commandment, as a law, as something we must. We have to, because this is not the kind of work we do here. It's not compulsion, because at least in my case, those that have been bred in Catholicism or Christianity, we have all the laws, Abraham and Christ, and the commandment. And I don't think that has been any good for evolution. Anyway, and it says in the paragraph before this one, it says nothing can be accomplished through ordinary struggle with the organic world.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we have to be what we tend to do. We have to. Anyway, that's the way I express it. I think we don't have to take, you can. It's a saying there. It's your own virtue. Oh,
Say again. I didn't get it. Say
if
it again.
your own vice is the search of virtue, you can become. I see that very, very often in people that become fanatic and they push so hard in things that are not. I speak for myself.
I asked Rajan one time, I said, why is the phenomenal, why is it so strong? Why is it? I said, is it a thick layer? Is it very thick to penetrate? He said it is not thick. It's only 5 millimeters, but it is made of steel.
Mhm.
And I was thinking the reason, it is that strong is because we keep making it stronger
Mhm.
with our attention. We make it more powerful.
Hopefully, some of the suggestions in these chapters give us a few possible outlets for an alternative. Now, I'm going to tell a story that may be not quite exactly what you think that it is, but my grandfather worked for Ford Motor Company when they were first putting out cars. He was a salesman. The more cars that he sold, the bigger rewards he would get from the company for doing that job. Of course, at the same time, the other things in his life weren't getting as much attention. So, like his music and his wife and his garden and all of those kinds of things. But the company kept rewarding them, like trips to Mexico City and other things that said, yes, you're doing it right. We like what you're doing. This is an external example I'm giving of a process. At the time that he stopped working, there was this period of not just disconnectedness from the other things that had been of importance to him, but also like a feeling of disorientation. Like
what?
How disorientation.
Okay.
Like how to do this, how to behave, how to proceed. And in my experience, which is not great with the massiveness of this struggle, but the degree to which I don't try to emphasize one or the other aspects, the more likely it is that I'll be in balance and receptive when there's an opportunity to be less negative or to be in stillness or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's not a push issue. It's almost a be relaxed issue because it says, for the biological machine to become passive, so not the main force, does not mean that it must cease all moving centrum activity, as in a seated meditation. To make the moving centrum passive, one must lose the fixation, by which I mean the result of seduction with the visions, like what we're trying for, what we think we can accomplish, whatever, which include mental, emotional, and physical ideas, feelings, and sensations of the phenomenal world without losing interest in the visions of the phenomenal world. It's a double thing there. It's a balance.
That's a
Yeah.
thank you for that's a really good story you told me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if I had known what the example you're given to be passive, to accept both
Yeah.
without needing to push on the right way to do it,
Mhm.
then yeah, I mean, I didn't have that information that you just told me. So it took me years to learn about, for me, compassion.
Mhm.
And when I came to realize that I couldn't even the time had passed for the outer thing that I needed to learn about, for me to learn about, was
Yeah.
it's very painful for me to learn about it. I did learn about compassion through a very difficult way. If I had known about this, I might have and felt it deeply, or realized it. The relationships would have been different. I might not have learned about compassion, but I learned about compassion another way, acceptance of both
Yeah.
existences as being, appropriate to these people. But then I did learn about compassion in a very, very deep way. Yeah, well, so thanks for the story, because yeah, thank you, Pat.
Very nice. We are in mostly finishing, I presume. Something that I think we all realize, but as Bev said, sometimes the information of that feeling is very important. You know, when you try meditation, yoga, whatever you do, relax. And there is a paradox because to relax you cannot force. So it's a kind of paradox, because if you struggle to relax, you will never relax. So it's a paradox. It's a fine layer of something you tell yourself somehow to. I sometimes say to myself, attention without tension. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a very good ending for our gathering here today. And I am looking forward to going into the next chapter, but I would request that everyone read all of chapter 9 again for themselves, because these chapters do build on each other. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. That's so wonderful. How about the 4 lines? How about that?
Okay.
All phenomena
Phenomenon
is
is
illusion, neither
neither
attracted
attracted
nor
nor repelled,
not making
not
any
making any moves.
My
My
habits will
habits will
carry me
carry
through.
me through.
Thank you all.
Habits will
Thank you,
carry
guys.
me
Thank you.
through.
Make the inner as the outer and outer as the inner.